Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, the White Wolf. He's been around since Phase 1 of the MCU, but I'm worried that Phase 5 will be his last. Not because Sebastian Stan gets tired of playing him, but because he dies. If you think about it for just a second, with how he's been neglected and ignored, it's clear that they are probably setting him up to be killed. Let's think back to Bucky pre-Endgame for a second. In the first Avenger, Bucky is introduced to us as a respected soldier and a great friend to Steve Rogers. Someone who Steve knew would always have his back, even before Steve got the super soldier serum. Obviously, he wasn't the main character of this story, and towards the end, he falls off the train. And that's a part of his origin, even though it's altered. So all that's fine. And in Winter Soldier, he starts aura farming. Cool. He looks really badass in this movie, and he's the main focus of it, with Steve trying to find a way to snap his buddy out of the mind control that he was put through. This is what sold Bucky to me, and a lot of other people too. The design of his costume, how he was a huge threat to Steve, and the menacing vibe that came with him, along with the whole fact that he was Steve's old best friend. Fast forward to Civil War, he's one of the main issues of the movie again, with him being framed for a bombing that killed King T'Chaka. A lot less aura farming here, if any at all, but he's still cool. In Infinity War and Endgame, there's not much for him. We see how he's been holding up in Wakanda, and we learn that Rocket really wants his metal arm. And that's about it. But that's expected for a movie like this, given the scale of it all. But post-Endgame, post-Steve Rogers, Bucky continues to be nothing more than either a background character or a side character. When Falcon and the Winter Soldier was announced, I expected this to be a chance for both characters to be fleshed out and then be given full personalities. Bucky was given a little bit of personality. He was very blunt with how he spoke at times, but he could also be sarcastic and crack jokes. And the fact that he was dealing with nightmares of his past killings made you want to sympathize with him. They even set up a really good storyline where he was spending time with the father of one of his victims because he felt so guilty. But that story was just forgotten until the last episode, where they rushed the conclusion of the storyline. It wasn't satisfying at all. Then, in Captain America 4, he shows up for only 5 minutes. An important character to Captain America is only there for 5 minutes. Then in Thunderbolts, I actually really like his role. He's a mentor to other characters with terrible paths, helping them move on from him. But the part where he joins the New Avengers, refraining from getting Val in prison, and souring his friendship with Sam Wilson, was just bad writing. Bucky's whole mission beforehand was to find evidence that Val was doing some real messed up shit, and getting her sent to prison for it. So after the whole Sentry incident, where she bullshits her way into making the New Avengers, he just allows her to do that, which makes no sense for him specifically to do. It makes sense why the others go along with it, but not Bucky. I think this, along with the rest of the neglect of his character, attests to the fact that even though Marvel tries to put Bucky in the forefront at times, they just can't help but push him to the side and focus on other characters. Which leads me to my last thought. I'm worried that Bucky is going to die at the hands of Doctor Doom. In its current state, the New Avengers don't feel like a mainstay in the universe. It's a ragtag group of characters who haven't been shown to have a certain future in the universe. So given the fact that Sam Wilson is going to have his own Avengers team in Doomsday, and the fact that Marvel already used the introduction of the New Avengers as shock value, I think they may be killed by Doctor Doom in order to trigger the Sentry to transform. And of course, Bucky would be a part of the group killed. I don't want that to happen, because Bucky's one of my favorite characters. But given the way they've mistreated him so far, why wouldn't they kill him off? When have they showed care about him at all? But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like what you see, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. If you don't think Bucky or the New Avengers are going to die in Doomsday, who then? Let me know who in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.